Again and again, I would love to thank you for reaching more than 1,000 new subscribers. Thank you very much. It's just simple like that. Just hit the subscribe button, and voila, you'll be getting the latest trends of what is happening in the world of football. And it might happen that you miss news in other channels news, then you know that this will be the backup account or show that you'll go to the show and just do the review and get maybe what have passed you. So don't forget just to hit the subscribe button and to subscribe to our channel and to support us. Remember, it is free of charge. Legendary ex-Kaizer Chiefs player Docter Khumalo has some free advice for Kaizer Chiefs. Kaizer Chiefs and Bafana legend Docter Khumalo is pleased with the signing that the club has made in this current transfer window. However, he feels they should still sign a bit more. Chiefs confirmed the arrivals of Tebogo Putsane, Even Msimango, Tutayane Ditlogwem, Tutuzim Danzane, Edson Daniels, Pulemodi, Castillo Garcia, and Ranga Chafaviro as their new acquisition ahead of the 2023-24 season. Khumalo says that he sees a resemblance of former players, even those from before his generation, in some of the new signings. However, he feels the club still needs one or two players to help someone like Chafaviro. Speaking to Diski Time, the senior writer Velile Miandu, in the current edition of the newspaper 16V, as Khumalo is affectionately known, says the club still needs one or two players who can protect the new and R9. Ranga is not enough. He is that type of a player that have described like Kingston Carter and Max Maponyane. That type, Khumalo told Diski Times. Now you need a type of a player like Bernard Parker and Nomvete, that kind of a player that would say, listen, I'm in the final third, there is no one to help me, I'm going to do it myself. Bernard is a sneaky player, intelligent but very quiet on the field. You need that. Now Ranga needs to be protected sometimes, because if he surpasses what is expected out of him, teams are going to start to plan against him. Now you need a Kaizer Chiefs that cannot play with a sole striker, with only midfielders or a dummy striker, a player like Bernard Parker. Then you talk wing players, because the strength of Kaizer Chiefs is wing play throughout the history of Kaizer Chiefs. All the wingers that used to play for Kaizer Chiefs are the ones that made this team to tick, with the only exceptional players in the middle, the Ace Kuses, the Chipa Mulatidis and Ace Talungwe. Those guys of the players complementing the wing players that the Kaizer Chiefs way. Kaizer Chiefs legend and one of the darlings of the club, Docter 16V Khumalo, is pleading with the Amakosi faithful to give newly appointed head coach Molefenteki a chance. This follows a barrage of criticism of the Chiefs hierarchy's decision to appoint the former Bafana head coach as Atazwane's successor, after the club legend had one of the worst seasons in the PSL era for Chiefs in what was also his first season as the head coach. The appointment also came as a shock to Chiefs fans, because the club had been engaged in negotiations with a number of coaches around the world, including former Young Africans head coach Nasruddin Nabi. 16V Docter Khumalo says, I'm on the better side of it, because I know what the man is capable of, and I know what kind of players he has managed to develop. At the moment, we're not talking development, but a coach that can make a player to develop. That means there's something within that coach that he is doing correctly. And probably this is the same dose that Kaizer Chiefs players need. We take nothing away from Coach Atazwane, because he's still there. Now when you combine the experience that Ata went through throughout being the head coach of Kaizer Chiefs and what Coach Ntseki is going to bring on the table, you combine that, we are talking about the coach that is young, that was capable of taking this club to another level. It is not a demotion. Yes, on paper he might be an assistant, but decision making, somehow they have to sit together and decide who's starting, who's not starting, which player do we need and which player we don't need. So it's very paramount for our supporters to be educated when it comes to such, because some take it personal without any information that is very relevant for them to understand what the club is going through. Yes, there is a draft. Yes, we have seen anything in the village. There's no silver way. How do we fix it? Are we going to be fighting each other every year, or we are going to be trying and trying? These three guys are going to be in charge if only the positiveness can prevail within the supporters. Mind, let's see what can transpire, because if you give them the most positive support, it is likely that they can take the team in the next level. But if it's negative, you fight them and you throw them with cans, you're disrupting the progress of the club. We don't know who's right and who's wrong for the club. So now we probably bring somebody that is going to make the things worse than what it is. I think for him to be at Kaizer Chiefs for 2 years, it is a plus. He's not going to be driving or be a captain of the ship without understanding what makes the engine functions. He knows which pistol he has to adjust. He knows which pistol he has to move.